It's getting weird.
What's up, everybody? I am Unicorn and welcome back to my channel. All right, now as y'all are trickling on in, make sure you go ahead and sign up with Betty in the Bag. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And if at any point you feel a little stressing on your chest, you got something to say, go ahead and leave it down there below in the comments. Lovely. Now that we have gotten all of the pleasantries out of the way, let's get down to business. There's a whole lot of going on in this episode. Specifically, I want to talk about the cast division and the awkwardness that it is creating for not only the cast members, but the fan experience as well. This is the first all cast episode, and we don't see any interaction between Giselle and Candace, Giselle and Ashley, or Giselle and Candace, Candace and Ashley, nor any interaction between all these damn Candace and Robin. Is very awkward. We as watchers are still leaving unsatisfied. Like, I understand that this is y'all's real life and y'all are navigating through these very awkward situations as co-workers or whatever, but at the end of the day, y'all niggas work with each other and y'all gonna have to get over it. Y'all gonna have to build a bridge and go ahead and climb right on over it, baby, because y'all have to be able to talk to each other. Like, I don't want to say I refuse to watch it because I'm going to keep watching because, you know, I love mess. But I feel like it's just awkward to watch all of y'all stand in rooms with each other and not speak. This is y'all's job. Let's start doing our job, y'all. Let's start earning our checks. Giselle, queen of mess. Like, you ain't got nothing to say to Candace. You ain't got some mess to dig up. Chris ain't went and locked you in a cupboard somewhere down there with Harry Potter or something and, you know, tried to fondle your breast. I don't know, girl. Like, come up with something. Think of something, sis. This is too much, okay? But I had to go ahead and get that off my chest before we even get into the episode. So the episode starts off with Nneka and her husband, Ike. They're in the car talking about the situation that's going on between Wendy's mother and Nneka and Wendy's sister and Nneka's cousin-in-law. She tells him that Wendy's mama, that basically Wendy's mother called Nneka's cousin and basically told her that, you know, she was gonna put her name on a shrine and hex her ass, and, you know, her next set of babies was gonna come out with 3 eyes and 6 legs, baby. I don't know. She just basically is upset because Wendy's mama called her cousin complaining about Wendy. Whatever. Okay, cool. Then we get to Ike telling us that Eddie unfollowed him on Facebook. I'm gonna let y'all know now that I believe it. I believe it. I also do believe that Wendy's mama called Nneka's cousin and they got into that whole thing. But we'll get into the rest of that later. I'm gonna try to speedboat through all of this rocky terrain, and then we're gonna get down to the meat and potatoes of this situation. So then we meet Barrel Neck and Swamp Eyes, aka the Jebs, Robin and Giselle. They're at some little hole in a wall restaurant. They're jabbering their jaws and talking about, you know, basically Robin brings up what Nneka told her. Nneka, I'm trying to say her name correctly. She brings up what Nneka told her about Wendy's mother. And, you know, obviously anything involving Wendy, Candace, i.e. anybody that they do not like, they're automatically swayed to believe anything negative about them. And also, y'all, okay, this whole bit with Giselle being a cougar thing, like it's cute, but like, girl, we don't need you trying to make eyes at every nigga who looks to be under 25. Like, we do not need you carrying this bit on, okay? You already involved with this man from Summer House, Winter House, Lake House, some house, and in a minute, you about to be in a jailhouse, girl. You keep flirting with these boys that look underage. Your ass is about to be locked up, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm the first one at your trial, girl, because you're pulling some stunts, old ass. But anyway, so Giselle brings up that Juan yelled at her, and basically him telling her that, you know, he didn't stick his dick in the girl is him yelling or whatever. I guess he was being very aggressive. They don't use the word aggressive with Juan though. Catch. But Juan basically told her, like, I wasn't effing the girl, and that's that, and they get into that. And then Robin, one thing Robin gonna do is stand by her man, and one thing about it, girl, I stand by your man, sis, stand by your man. She said my man is hard of hearing. He was a coach and he had COVID, and that fucked up his ears, and that's why he was talking a bit loudly, but he wasn't yelling at you. Robin, you really gotta chill out. You gotta chill out with this caping for Juan thing. Each and everything he does, you got an excuse for. Now this man hard of hearing. I bet he couldn't hear that girl telling him that she wanted a piece of that peen when he came down and slid his debit card to pay for her room at that hotel either. I bet he couldn't hear that. I bet he couldn't hear the moans and screams in that hotel room when he was dicking her down too. But we ain't gonna talk about that. I bet he heard the time on that call sheet. I bet he heard that. What time to be there so you get your check. I bet he heard that. So then we move on over to Candace's house. Now, Candace. Now, I know that you grew up Silver Spoon and all that jazz country club and whatnot. But then people ain't told you how to use a dishwashing machine. Like, girl, the reason why your dishwasher ain't working is because you sprinkling the damn liquid on top of the dishes, baby. It goes in the little thing in there. You lift the lid and then you put it in there. And then most places they got the little dishwashing packet. You put it in there and girl, it'll just do all the work for you. Girl, that's why you tearing your shit up now, because you doing it wrong, girl. But either way, Mama Dorothy comes sliding in her cheetah girl dress, and Mama Dorothy actually looks good. Not saying for Mama Dorothy, so no Mama Dorothy slander on this channel, okay? We will not be doing it with Mama Dorothy today, okay? But anyway, so Candace and Dorothy goes outside. They get to chit-chatting about all the things that's going on, and Candace tells her mom that she spent way too much money on touring. Now, Candace, baby, hold on. I feel like you would do yourself a service by cutting back on some of these unnecessary costs. Now, what you could do is that you could eliminate the live band and, record it and have the girls and just do your doo-wop pops to the live recording. That's all you got to do. You don't need to be lugging these niggas around to hit cymbals and bass drums. Like, girl, you don't need to do all that. Like, you don't need no saxophone player. It's not giving all that. It's not that it's not giving all of that, but it's just that, like, while you're at this point in your touring career, you might just want to cut some costs here and there. No, I ain't no expert. That's your business. I'm just talking. They ain't got nothing to do with me, so I'm just go ahead and bypass on that. So then her and her mama get to talking about Robin and why they aren't talking. Candace's explanation of their beef is that Robin flip-flopped on Chris last season, which I agree. A little bit later in the show, Candace kind of forgets. She has pretend amnesia, in the words of Teddy Mellencamp. She says that she doesn't understand why they have beef, ma'am, or why Robin doesn't talk to her. Now, while I agree with everything that you did, after the whole Juan and Robin situation came to light, I agree with you. But what I'm also going to have to do is check you on playing victim. You cannot be the victim in this situation either, sister. Like, you know exactly why that lady don't talk to you, because then you didn't go and call her and go and confirm or have any conversations with her. No, you blasted her on Twitter, you blasted her on YouTube, and you blasted her on all these places. That's why that lady don't want to talk to you, girl. Like, hello? All right, so now we head down to Karen's Pickleball. And Karen, I'm gonna need you to come up. Like, first of all, what the fuck is this old ass game? Pickleball. This sound like some shit that, they did in the Jim Crow era, girl. What the hell is this pickleball mess? Now, I am uncultured. I am an uncultured American, so maybe this is just something that I don't know nothing about. But girl, this is ping pong. Is this like, girl, is this the broke man's ping pong? What is this? Like, no, this is the rich man's ping pong. That's what it is, because y'all got a tennis court, y'all got a kitchen, y'all got a net. It's a very big, elaborate scheme. But either way, girl, why are y'all playing? Your intended goal was to encourage conversation amongst the ladies. How did pickleball come into your mind as the first option? If I wanted to encourage conversation amongst the ladies, what I would have done is sign everybody up for a day of an escape room. Like, an escape room would get the girls talking, because ultimately you ain't thinking about no beefs. You trying to figure out the codes, trying to get your ass up out of Dodge so you don't die in the escape room. I mean, you don't die, but you know what I mean. And you could have divided them up in the exact same groups. Candace, Giselle, and Ashley in one group, and you, and then Robin, Wendy, Nneka, and the other girl, Mia. You could have divided them up that way and then had an escape room, and they would have been forced to use their brains with each other collectively, and they would have had to speak to one another in order to escape the room. And after that, they would have felt a feeling of relief, and it might have come back to them that this is an old, dirty, trifling, low down, common heifer, but at the end of the day, they would have made it through with each other, and they would have slapped five, and then got to hate each other afterwards. Call me next time you want to come up with an elaborate plan to get the girls to speak to each other, because I can help you out. But anyway, that's the grand dame, and we're not gonna question her motives. All right. So let's see. So everybody shows up to pickleball or whatever. Everybody looks cute except for Robin. Robin, girl, what did you have on? First of all, it looked like everybody agreed that the theme was white. Why you and Juan come in all dressed in all black like y'all like the fucking Omen? I don't know, girl, but you looked crazy with them fishnets on your leg and your flat ass, washboard ass booty. Like, girl, let me not do that. I apologize, Robin. You didn't deserve all that. So everybody plays pickleball. Nobody speaks to each other, as I already assumed. And then they head to the lunch area. And this is where the things get cracking. So Nneka pops it off by saying that Ashley cleared up some confusion. Ashley explains herself. Then Nneka and Wendy or Candace asks, well, are y'all good? Because, what's the situation? And then there's a moment of silence, and the girls are looking at each other, clutching their pearls. Like, well, girl, are we good? So then Nneka says, well, I don't know her to have a problem with her. And here's where I have a problem with you, Nneka, because you, and Wendy as well, you were sitting on ready. You had this information that you wanted to address. So I feel like when somebody asks you if you got a problem with her, like, it doesn't have to be a personal problem, but you did have something that you did want to clear up. So your first response should have been like, I don't have a personal issue with Wendy, but I do want to clear something up. Your mama called my cousin and said that she was going to submit our names to shrines and have us hexed and have me growing a tail and prevent me from, producing in the fruit in the future. And I don't know what was on that shrine and what the hex was, child. So I'm just playing. I don't know. But Wendy, and then Wendy also echoes Nneka and says, hey, yeah, I don't know her. I don't have a problem with her. I don't know her. Also, Wendy, you do, well, actually, I don't know if Wendy was actually privy to this information before this conversation. So maybe Wendy was actually right. Like, I don't know this girl. I don't have a problem with her. But I know that she was rubbed the wrong way of when it came to the Osu situation and her challenging her doctoral status. So she also could have brought that up. So I would say that it's fair on both sides that both of y'all were kind of just sitting on ready and waiting for the other one to shoot. So then Nneka says, but your mom did call my cousin and say that she was going to put a hex on me, or she submitted our name to shrines, whatever. And then Wendy is like, girl, what? I called you. So listen, I'm not about to re-explain the whole situation. What I am going to say is that I do believe that whatever Nneka said, that there is some truth to it. I don't know what Nneka's mom said. I don't know what Wendy's mom said because I wasn't on the phone. But I do have a feeling that there is some truth to it. I do believe, though, that screenshot that they submitted was not real, because That is not the way that iPhone works. If her name is Susan, a big S would have showed up. And I will pull up a screenshot of when I was on the phone with my grandmother, Susan, and I will show y'all what it's supposed to look like versus what they had shown on the screen. Somebody lying. So things go left really quickly. Nneka pops off, calls Wendy a bitch, and now they going back and forth or whatever. But here's my thing. It did not have to go like that. Nneka, you could have pulled Wendy to the side and said, hey, Wendy, X, Y, and Z happened. I just want to clear this up because ultimately, none of this has anything to do with you. From what I'm hearing you say is that Wendy's mom called your cousin and went in on your cousin and saying that she was going to submit y'all name to trials. Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with Wendy. Wendy ain't call your mama. Wendy ain't do all of this. And if you thought that Wendy was on the phone or something like that, you could have addressed that to her in a more respectful manner or in a manner that would encourage conversation. Like, I feel like in the way that y'all both did it, y'all were both sitting on ready and just waiting for each other to shoot. That's just the wrong way to enter into a conversation if your goal is to come out of this amicably. However, I also do believe that when Nneka says that Wendy had an issue with her coming into this group, I am inclined to believe that. And I don't know why, and I hope that it's not true. I hope that it is revealed that it's not true. But I am inclined to believe that Wendy might have had an issue with Nneka coming into the group. I don't know why. I don't know for what reason. But the whole clout chase thing, like, y'all gotta stop with that. Y'all gotta stop with that at this point because all of y'all are relatively new to the housewives space. So there's room for more than one Nigerian girl on the cast. Anyway, so then as they're going back and forth or whatever, Wendy says, you know, I don't want to work it out with Nneka. I want to work it out with Mia. Wendy. Now, the people have been saying that you were corny for the past 3 seasons, and I had been like, you know, ducking and dodging away from those allegations, you know, acting like I don't see it. Bitch, I'm blind. I'm blind to all the corny bullshit. But this is the moment where now I'm going to have to remove the blinders because, baby, this was cornball behavior. You standing up, strutting across the room, talking about like you wish you was this and this, and it was just like, all right, Wendy girl, you're cute, you're fine, you're bad, you all of that in a bag of chips. However, sit down. It's a flop. Look, girl, all of that shenanigans, all of that faggotry, all of that was a flop. Like, I need you, Wendy. The people be saying that you be rehearsing all of your lines at home and then coming home and then come into the group like you have prepared a speech for CNN. And that's what the people be saying. And I have been trying to ignore them people. But baby, at this point, I'm inclined to agree because it just comes across as inauthentic. Like, you are way too smart, way too witty. Well, maybe that is a problem. Maybe you aren't naturally witty. So you have to go home and practice your lines. But while you're doing this rehearsal, maybe you should, you know, do it with a real person. Don't be practicing with Cameron and the rest of them cute babies at home. I need you to practice with a live adult. Practice with Candace or somebody. Practice with somebody who can, you know, come back at you real quick with some good lines because it's a flop. It's a flop. And you trying to like over talk her and all of this, like it just comes across as corny. And the cherry on top of the corny cake is you pulling Mia of all people aside to like have some powwow with her. Like, it felt forced. It did not feel natural. And then you over there trying to like laugh and joke with her. Like, this girl did not throw a drink in your face. And like the girl did not. And like, you weren't just calling this girl all kind of stupid idiots the last time you saw her. Like, you was literally saying like, girl, like, do you need an IEP? That's what it was giving, you know? So, Wendy, girl. And then y'all go over there and y'all talk about nothing. Y'all resolve nothing. You so ready to deflect. And I'm you know, while Robin is the queen of deflection and she would know all about it, she is probably the perfect person to point it out when she sees somebody deflecting. You were 100% deflecting from whatever that situation was, and that makes you look even more guilty by association. Like, whatever your mama did, you know that she did it. And now I'm starting to like look at you sideways a little bit, sis. So I never thought I'd get to this point with my girl, because you know I love me some Wendy, but it is what it is. I gotta call a spade a spade. So Mia and Wendy had this conversation. They ain't talking about nothing or whatever. Then at some point, now we redirect ourselves to the men. And Nneka says to Mia that Eddie unfollowed Ike on Facebook. Mia's messy ass goes over there, stirs up all these drama with the men, and, you know, basically says, like, did you unfollow him on Facebook in front of them both? And now Ike is forced to confront Eddie. What I will say about this whole thing is that this was also corny. I'm not used to men behaving like bitches. Like, that was some bitch shit. Like, if Ike thought that, first of all, this Facebook unfollow thing is ridiculous. This Facebook unfollow thing is ridiculous. I don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck if another nigga unfollow another man that I do not know for real unfollowing me on Facebook. I don't care. It is weird. It is convenient when my wife and your wife are in this weird family cultural conundrum that you want to follow me on Facebook, but it is what it is. I'm gonna chalk it up to the game. When y'all two were playing pickleball, it would have been the perfect opportunity for you to pull Eddie to the side and be like, hey bro, it's nice meeting you here officially, but I did think that it was a little weird that we were friends on Facebook for all of these years, and then I'm randomly unfollowed when your wife and my wife get into this little spat. Like, you know, us as men, like, we don't need to really be involving ourselves in the women's drama. Like, it's not that deep. Like, we just had a cool time playing pickleball. Like, I think we should be cool. That's how I'm used to men operating with men. But the way that this was handled was like some bitch shit. Like, you puffing your chest out talking about, say it with your chest, say it with your chest. You unfollow me on Facebook. Like, you look thirsty, you look corny, and your wife ain't making it no better. You screaming at her like, whoa, okay? It was a lot going on. And then, so as they're getting into it, Nneka like addresses Wendy like, don't get in my man's face. And then Wendy was like, girl, we're not doing all of that or whatever. And I'm just like, y'all really was about to sit here and fight over Facebook. Whoa. Like, we too grown for that. We are way too old for that. Y'all niggas got kids. Y'all got student loans. Y'all got bills. Y'all got mortgages. Y'all got a whole lot of things. And Nneka and Ike, y'all probably got a mortgage fraud case pending against y'all, so y'all might want to just, you know, pipe down a little bit. Don't be too aggressive in these streets, because, you know, the Rico girls is looking for y'all. They love a good reality sting, so y'all might just want to pipe down. So all of this to say, my thoughts on this episode is like, it was cool. I think that it was, you know, it was jam-packed with action. But I left feeling like everybody is weird. I left feeling like everybody is weird. Wendy and Eddie included. I think that, like, there were points in this, like, I think both of the men could have handled this situation differently. And the women also could have handled this situation differently if y'all wanted to be amicable. I get it that y'all trying to make TV, but, you know, it is what it is. So we will see the continuation of this, I'm assuming, sometime next week. I can't wait to see Robin crying on that curb with her feet up like Monica in that damn video. But either way, yeah, that was my thoughts on this week's episode. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, do all the things, sign up with Betty and the Bike, and make sure if at any point you felt a little stretching on your chest, you need to get something off, drop down in the comments. All right, I'll see y'all next week. Toodles.